You know, I don't know how long I'm gonna play the game. You know, I don't know how much more I'll be able to give to the game, but you know, the way I feel right now, we'll see what happens. But you know, the game will let me know when it's time, and you know, and we'll figure it out then.
So, George, you heard LeBron talking about Brady inspiring him, but they are two different sports, as he notes. How do you see LeBron's career arc playing out here?
Well, Rachel, I don't think there's anyone in sports that spends more money on his body than LeBron James, and that's certainly been well documented. And no disrespect to Tom Brady and, you know, Team TB and the kale pajamas
right.
or whatever it is that he wears. But LeBron puts in so much effort and time and money into his body, and it's paid off. You look at a guy at 36 years old that looks like when he was 26 years old. I mean, it's kind of wild when you see that, and that's just not the normal aging process, but he has defied that in a lot of ways because of the effort he's put in. And also from an experience standpoint, he's like Neo in the Matrix now, Rachel. He's stopping bullets before they're coming. So he's in a situation that there is not a situation that arises during a game that he's never seen at this point. So between all that and just guys knowing, they know when it's time, right? Charles Barkley always likes to say, whenever you start head faking way too many times, you know it's time to go, right? And all these guys know. Kobe knew. He started that last season, and a couple of weeks in, he was like, nah, I'm done. I'm ready to go. And I think LeBron will know when it's time. And he can go well into his late 30s or 40s. We saw Kareem do it and kind of shift to that number 2 guy with Magic.
Well, I mean, George, look, I talked about it coming into this season. I thought LeBron James was going to be load management. He hasn't missed one game. So I don't know. I like everything he does now surprises me. And I'm just like, where is he getting this from? If you watch him, he has mastered the game of basketball. He's mastered the way that he's cutting, his feel offensively, his passes are on time, on target. Here it is. You had a guy, Wes Matthews, who had 4 DMPs over the past few weeks, and then he played last night and was huge for them defensively and offensively. And on the offensive stance, all he had to do was be ready to catch and shoot. And you look at guys like Wes Matthews and KCP, and you watch them, and when LeBron makes passes to him, those passes are even perfect. Where he's not reaching high or reaching low, it's right in the pocket. When you look at the game winner, the potential game winner that he had last night, he was upset because the inbounder bounced past it to him, which caused him to reach low, to have to glitch to get it up. And it's just like, these are the things that he's watching, the small things, the little details that nobody else is noticing that's putting him ahead of the game. So I don't know. I think we see LeBron James at the age of 45 maybe because he's a physical specimen. And here I am the same age at 36 years old and starting my new career in life, and he's still going strong. I'm just jealous, and I don't know what else is next for him.
Well, it's funny, Perk, the other day we were talking about Dwayne Wade and how he said that he thinks LeBron is a better player now, not for a 36-year-old, but overall, than LeBron was when LeBron played with Dwayne back in Miami, and that's kind of considered right now the height of LeBron's MVP seasons. Robert, Perk brings up an interesting point, though, about rest. Do you think that LeBron does need to take some games off here or there, or do you think with not that many practices this season, it's fine to play as much as he can and still stay in that MVP race?
Well, he can take some games off and still be mentioned as the MVP because he's LeBron James. And I think the only person that can get in LeBron James' way is LeBron James because he's such a guy, he's such a caring guy that wants to perform for the fans. There are no fans in the stands, but he knows people are watching on TV. He wants to be out there. So he is the only guy in the NBA that should be allowed to load manage because he's played more games than anybody in the NBA. He's played more playoff games and logged more minutes than anybody, and he's still playing at a high rate. And he needs to take some time off. So, LeBron James, don't get in your own way. Take some time off. We won't mind. You're the only one that can load manage.
There you go. I want to get to Anthony Davis. He did miss last night's game due to soreness in his right Achilles. Robert, you're here on every game here in L.A. with Spectrum. Do you have any concern about AD's health moving forward, or do you think this is a little load management itself?
I think it's a little bit of load management. And when you're a big guy and then you start talking about the Achilles, that can really affect the way you move. And AD is an active defender, so he's a little bit everywhere. He's stretching out, so he's really putting a lot of stress on that Achilles. So when it comes to the Achilles, you know, especially in the Lakers case, you think about the last person who had an Achilles injury, the late, great Kobe Bryant. So you don't want anything to come into play like this. So you say, hey, AD, we got LBJ. Take some time off. Make sure you get 100 because we're going to win on this another championship. So that's what you have to tell him.
You know, Rachel, I'm not concerned, but I can understand being cautious because the biggest predictor of future injury is past injury, right? And you look at Anthony Davis, while he hasn't had a catastrophic injury, he's had a lot of little lingering injuries over the past, right? Over the last several years. And he's had several injuries to that same leg recently. So because of that, it's the middle of February, right? This team is all about winning a championship. Take your time with him. Sit him out for a couple of games, even a week or two if you have to make sure that this team is right when it comes time to try to win a championship.
Absolutely. And it's all about the marathon and not the sprint. And Anthony Davis went on the longest playoff run of his career last year, and that's to go and win a title. So I can understand with having a short offseason, his body probably haven't recovered because he logged in a lot of minutes last postseason. He played a lot at the 5 position, banging up against big bodies. And then you have to give a lot of credit to the Lakers front office, Rob Pelinka, for going out and getting guys like Dennis Schroeder and Montrezl Harrell, knowing that these guys could take that pressure off LeBron James in case they do have to. I mean, LeBron James and Anthony Davis, just in case they do have to load management or rest, because these are guys that could come in and give us 20-plus points a night.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.